Have you ever wondered what heaven is truly like? Beyond the familiar descriptions, there are some captivating details that might surprise you. Brief overview. Heaven has long been a topic of curiosity and hope across different cultures and religions. It's commonly portrayed as a place of perfect peace, free from suffering and pain, and often described as the ultimate destination of eternal joy. In Christianity, for example, heaven is depicted as the dwelling place of God and the angels, a realm where people experience closeness to the divine. In Islam, heaven, or Jannah, is described as a paradise with lush gardens and rivers flowing beneath, symbolizing an eternal reward. While many religious texts touch on these general ideas, there are deeper layers and unexpected details that can shift our understanding. Today, we're diving into 5 lesser-known aspects of heaven that reveal more than the typical imagery we might think of. These secrets give us a more complex view of what heaven might be like and why it holds such a powerful allure across beliefs. When people think of heaven, it's often pictured as a purely spiritual realm, intangible, beyond the physical world where souls exist in eternal peace. However, various interpretations and religious texts suggest heaven may not be purely spiritual. In fact, it might even have physical characteristics. This view brings a more relatable dimension to the concept of heaven, giving us something we can almost visualize and feel. In the Bible, heaven is depicted with vivid imagery that often includes material elements, suggesting it has a tangible side. For instance, the Book of Revelation describes heaven as a city, specifically calling it the New Jerusalem. This city isn't just an ethereal space, but a structured place with clear architectural details. Revelation 21 describes its layout, mentioning city gates, foundations, and walls built with precious stones, and streets paved with gold. Imagine a place where every element is crafted with beauty beyond anything on earth. Walls of jasper, gates of pearl, and streets of pure gold. These descriptions give us a physical impression of heaven, not just as a state of being, but as a constructed place. Additionally, this city is said to have rivers and trees, specifically the River of Life and the Tree of Life, which are described as flowing and growing within heaven's boundaries. The River of Life is said to run clear and pure, coming from the throne of God, as mentioned in Revelation 22:1. Think of a river so pristine and beautiful that it surpasses any earthly body of water, giving life to everything it touches. In this way, heaven's physicality is shown to be not only spectacular, but also symbolic. A place where everything exists in a perfect, eternal state. The presence of the Tree of Life is another indication of heaven's physical dimension. Unlike any tree we know, it's described as having leaves that bring healing and bearing fruit in all seasons. Revelation 22:2 explains that this tree grows on both sides of the river, constantly providing a source of life. The tree isn't merely ornamental, it serves a purpose, offering sustenance and healing to those in heaven, symbolizing a place where life flourishes endlessly. The idea of heaven as a tangible place also connects with the physical resurrection of believers mentioned in the New Testament. According to Christian theology, believers are promised resurrected bodies in heaven, new, perfected versions of their earthly bodies. This suggests that heaven isn't just a realm for souls, but one where people exist in a renewed physical state, capable of experiencing the physical beauty of their surroundings. These descriptions, found in the Bible, provide us with a clear sense of structure, design, and even natural features within heaven. While these images may be symbolic in some ways, they still hint at a place that can be seen, felt, and experienced in a way similar to how we experience our physical world. In other words, heaven's beauty is presented as something that appeals not only to the soul, but also to our sense of sight, touch, and even taste. So, while heaven is indeed a realm of spiritual fulfillment, these details suggest it's not only that. The descriptions in various religious texts invite us to imagine heaven as a place we can picture, perhaps with landscapes, architecture, and natural wonders, showing us that heaven's wonders might be more real and tangible than we often realize. One of the lesser-known ideas about heaven is the promise of a new heaven and a new earth. Many people think of heaven as a distant place, somewhere entirely separate from the earth we live on. However, some religious texts suggest a different future, one where heaven and earth are not separate at all, but rather unified into a perfect creation. This concept is found in the book of Revelation, specifically in Revelation 21:1, which describes a vision of a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. This phrase is incredibly significant because it implies that the current world, along with the present heaven, will be transformed. According to this interpretation, heaven isn't just about going somewhere else. It's about the world itself being renewed and perfected. Imagine a world where everything wrong is made right, a place without suffering, conflict, or decay. In Christian theology, this idea of a new heaven and a new earth suggests that God's ultimate plan is to bring heaven down to earth, merging the two realms into one perfect eternal existence. This interpretation sees heaven not as an escape from earth, but as a future where earth itself is perfected. Imagine all the beauty of our world, its forests, rivers, mountains, and oceans, but without pollution, natural disasters, or destruction. Everything is preserved in its most beautiful, eternal form, symbolizing a paradise beyond anything we've ever experienced. This concept has roots in several other biblical passages as well. In the Old Testament, Isaiah 65:17 mentions, "For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former things will not be remembered or come to mind." This verse reinforces the idea that the physical world isn't meant to be abandoned, but transformed. It gives hope that everything good about life on earth will continue, only without the struggles and pains we experience now. It's a comforting thought, suggesting that heaven isn't just some faraway place, but a transformed reality we might recognize. One where we can fully experience peace and beauty without interruption. The new heaven and new earth are also described as places of deep community and connection. Revelation 21:3 tells of a loud voice saying, "Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them as their God." This implies a closeness between God and humanity, breaking down any barriers that might exist now. In this renewed creation, people live in complete harmony with each other and with God, enjoying relationships that are perfect, free from any pain, sadness, or separation. This vision of a unified heaven and earth also implies that the struggles we face now are temporary, and that a restored world is part of a greater plan. For believers, this promise offers a sense of purpose and hope. The new heaven and new earth means that heaven isn't just a destination, but a vision for the future of all creation. A world renewed and perfected where people can thrive. The idea of heaven as a new earth can change how people view their lives today. It suggests that everything in our world, the natural beauty we admire, the relationships we cherish, has value and purpose. This future heaven is a place where the best of earth continues, only free from anything that causes harm or distress. So, while heaven is often thought of as a separate realm, the idea of a new heaven and a new earth shows us a more interconnected vision. It's not about leaving behind the physical world, but seeing it elevated and transformed into a paradise where life is finally perfect. One of the more fascinating descriptions of heaven in religious texts is the idea that it doesn't need the sun or moon to provide light. While we rely on the sun by day and the moon by night to guide our rhythms and illuminate our world, heaven is described as a place where these celestial bodies are unnecessary. This concept not only emphasizes heaven's unique nature, but also offers insight into the depth of its divine radiance. The idea of heaven being illuminated without the sun or moon comes primarily from the book of Revelation. In Revelation 21:23, it says, "The city does not need the sun or the moon to shine on it, for the glory of God gives it light, and the Lamb is its lamp." This passage speaks to the presence of a divine light, a light so pure and powerful that it replaces any need for natural sources like the sun or moon. Imagine a light that is ever-present and constant, a source that fills every corner of heaven with a warm, welcoming glow that never fades or dims. This divine light signifies something much deeper than just physical illumination. In various religious interpretations, this eternal light represents purity, wisdom, and the ultimate presence of God. Unlike sunlight, which changes with time, or moonlight, which varies with cycles, this divine light is constant, symbolizing the unchanging nature of heaven. It's a light that believers associate with comfort, safety, and the direct presence of God, a form of illumination that allows everything to be fully known and seen. Without the need for the sun and moon, heaven is portrayed as a realm beyond time as we know it. Here on earth, days, months, and years are all measured by the movement of the sun and moon. Without these markers in heaven, time might not pass in the same way. Many believe this symbolizes eternity, a place where life continues endlessly, without the cycles of beginning and end that we experience on earth. In heaven, there's no nightfall, no darkness, only an everlasting day, symbolizing an eternal state of joy and peace. In a practical sense, the absence of sun and moon also suggests that heaven is free from anything that might create shadows, darkness, or uncertainty. Imagine a place where nothing is hidden, where clarity is total, and where every soul can experience the fullness of light. This aspect of heaven is often interpreted as the ultimate removal of any form of evil, doubt, or fear, leaving only truth and goodness. In a way, the absence of sun and moon symbolizes the idea that nothing ever diminishes or darkens the joy and peace found in heaven. Moreover, the imagery of God's glory as the sole source of light is also a symbol of unity and completeness. It suggests that in heaven, everything revolves around one central truth or source, making it a place of unity and harmony. Rather than relying on multiple sources for light or energy, heaven relies on just one, the presence of God. This imagery emphasizes heaven as a place where all things come together perfectly, with no competing needs or sources. So, the idea that heaven doesn't need the sun or moon is not just a poetic image. It's a vision of a realm where divine presence fills every need. It's a place where the light itself is pure, eternal, and endlessly sustaining, offering not only physical but spiritual illumination that uplifts and comforts. This feature of heaven invites believers to imagine an existence beyond the limits of our natural world, where divine light shines constantly and embraces everything in its radiance. Another striking feature described in religious texts about heaven is the presence of a river of life. This river is more than a simple body of water. It's a source of vitality and purity that flows through heaven, symbolizing the continuous flow of life, joy, and divine grace. The presence of this river adds a powerful dimension to the imagery of heaven, showing it as a place of constant renewal and endless sustenance. The river of life is mentioned specifically in Revelation 22:1, which says, "Then the angel showed me the river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb." This description creates an image of purity, a river so clear and pristine that it reflects heaven's perfection. The source of this river, originating from God's throne, suggests that it carries a divine essence, a constant stream of life, peace, and wholeness that never runs dry. Imagine standing by a river that's not only visually stunning, but also symbolic of eternal life and joy. In many religious interpretations, water itself is often seen as a symbol of life, purity, and cleansing. Here on earth, we rely on water to survive, and it holds spiritual significance in various practices, from baptisms to purification rituals. In heaven, the river of life is the ultimate expression of these qualities. It's seen as a source of eternal nourishment, providing everything the inhabitants of heaven need to thrive. The idea of drinking from or bathing in this river gives a sense of perpetual refreshment, a constant renewal that embodies heaven's promises of everlasting life and peace. Moreover, the location of this river within heaven is also significant. Flowing directly from God's throne, it reinforces the idea that all life and goodness in heaven originate from one divine source. This central placement emphasizes heaven's order and unity, a place where everything is perfectly aligned, with God as the source of all energy and life. Just as rivers on earth sustain ecosystems and communities, this heavenly river is depicted as sustaining every soul in heaven, a constant reminder of divine presence and care. Another interesting detail about the river of life is how it interacts with other features in heaven, specifically the tree of life, which we'll discuss in the next section. Revelation 22:2 mentions that the river flows through the city and nourishes the tree of life, which grows on both sides of the river. This connection between the river and the tree symbolizes an eternal cycle of life and growth, showing that heaven isn't static, but filled with vibrant, flourishing life. This dynamic imagery gives a sense of heaven as a place where joy and vitality are boundless, where the flow of life never ceases. The river of life is often interpreted as a promise of abundance and fulfillment for believers, a guarantee that they will never experience lack, thirst, or want. The river's purity and clarity suggest that everything in heaven is untainted, free from any impurity or harm. Imagine a place where every drink, every experience is refreshing, pure, and fulfilling, adding to the sense of heaven as a realm where every need is met completely. Ultimately, the river of life symbolizes a continuous divine source of nourishment, peace, and joy. It's not just a feature of heaven, but a representation of an endless connection to the divine, a life that's sustained, renewed, and filled with pure joy. The presence of this river invites us to imagine a heaven where life is not only eternal, but full, a place where the very essence of life flows freely and abundantly for all who are there. One of the most intriguing details about heaven is the presence of the tree of life. Unlike any tree we know on earth, the tree of life in heaven is described as having unique, supernatural qualities. It's not just a beautiful tree, but one that holds deep symbolic meaning, embodying the promise of eternal life, health, and abundance. The tree of life is a central feature in the heavenly landscape, and its attributes reveal heaven as a place of endless sustenance and healing. The description of the tree of life appears in Revelation 22:2, where it says, "On each side of the river stood the tree of life, bearing 12 crops of fruit, yielding its fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations." This passage offers a fascinating glimpse into heaven's abundance and vitality. The fact that this tree bears a new type of fruit every month suggests a continual, never-ending supply of nourishment. Imagine a tree that, instead of yielding fruit once a season, provides fresh fruit every single month, symbolizing heaven's infinite resources and the idea that there's always something new to experience and enjoy. The 12 different kinds of fruit represent a sense of diversity and richness, as well as a continuous cycle of renewal. In many interpretations, the number 12 holds special significance, often representing completeness or wholeness in the Bible, as seen with the 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 apostles. Here, the 12 fruits can be seen as a symbol of heaven's perfection, a place where everything exists in harmony and abundance, free from decay or scarcity. This image reinforces the idea that in heaven, life is not static but dynamic, filled with endless blessings that are constantly renewed. What's even more fascinating about the tree of life is the mention of its leaves, which are said to be for the healing of the nations. This line has been interpreted in various ways, but it generally conveys the idea that heaven is a place of complete restoration and health. On earth, we often experience illness, conflict, and brokenness, both personally and collectively. The healing leaves symbolize heaven as a place where all these wounds, physical, emotional, and even societal, are healed. Imagine a place where every sorrow, every division is mended, and all people live in harmony. The tree of life represents this promise of healing and unity, suggesting that heaven is not only a place of personal joy, but also one of collective peace. The interaction between the tree of life and the river of life adds another layer to this image. The tree grows along the banks of the river, its roots nourished by the river of life, symbolizing a cycle of divine sustenance that supports and renews everything in heaven. This connection reflects the idea that heaven is a place where everything is interwoven in perfect harmony, with each element supporting the others in an unending loop of life, growth, and fulfillment. For believers, the tree of life is a promise of eternal health and vitality. Unlike earthly life, where aging, illness, and death are part of the cycle, the presence of the tree of life suggests that in heaven, life is endless and free from suffering. The fruit it bears offers constant nourishment, and the healing leaves provide comfort and restoration to all who dwell there. Heaven is depicted not just as a destination, but as a place of continuous growth, healing, and peace. Ultimately, the tree of life in heaven invites us to envision a world where every need is met, every pain is healed, and every person lives in unity and peace. It serves as a powerful symbol of heaven's promise of eternal life and endless joy, painting a picture of a paradise that's not only beautiful, but brimming with life and harmony. Let's quickly recap the 5 lesser-known aspects of heaven we've explored today. First, we looked at heaven as a physical place, with elements like rivers, cities, and landscapes suggesting a tangible dimension. Next, we discovered the concept of a new heaven and a new earth, a vision of heaven and earth united in a renewed, perfected creation. We also learned that heaven is illuminated not by the sun or moon, but by the pure, unchanging light of divine presence. Then, we explored the river of life, a source of eternal renewal and purity that flows directly from God's throne. Finally, we looked at the tree of life, bearing endless fruits and leaves for healing, symbolizing heaven as a place of complete peace and wholeness. These details offer a rich, layered picture of heaven that's both comforting and inspiring, encouraging us to imagine heaven as a place of boundless life, light, and harmony. Take some time to reflect on these profound images. Each one offers a unique glimpse into what eternity might be like. If these insights sparked your curiosity or left you with questions, share them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating topics. Thanks for watching.